I talk a lot about like sort of tantric polarity practices. Are you familiar with that at all? It's just a really, really helpful framework to understand sort of why for somebody who's in control their whole life wants to surrender, or vice versa. Why somebody who feels maybe like in life, maybe like a people pleaser, wants to like step into a place of like complete control in this space. So all of us have sort of both masculine and feminine energies within our beings. Okay. So masculine. And so I'm going to say masculine and feminine, and then I'm going to use different words to replace these, because I actually think masculine and feminine is like, we got a lot of baggage societally around these concepts, because this has nothing to do with your gender or your sex. We all have masculine and feminine qualities. So for masculine, I'm going to use the term alpha. And for feminine, I'm going to use the term omega. Okay. So the alpha qualities is consciousness. It is logic. It is the container. It is strategy. Like this, these are the parts of ourselves. We all need this. It's the thing that we use to get things done. This is the alpha. Okay. So omega is the being. It is the sense. It is the feeling. It is the love. Okay. So alpha without omega is an empty corpse. There's nothing inside the container. Omega without alpha is chaos, because there's nothing to hold. And I'm sure you've met people in your life before, and they're just like total chaos, and they're total like sensing beings, but it's hard to keep their life together. It's because they are all omega, and their alpha is not very strong, right? And that serves them. They have superpowers in that omega, but it also makes things a little bit more challenging. And then you have people like those high-powered CEO that are all alpha, and then they feel a little dead inside. They feel empty because they don't have enough omega in their life, of like sensing, of dancing, of singing, of feeling, of like these like juicy ways that we relate and love. And so I just think that this is so powerful, and I use it a lot in my practice to really understand where you are. Are you more like, and the word tantra actually means, so tantra is an ancient practice, and so I don't really love to use the word tantra. It's just people recognize it because it is quite it's like a religion, and so I don't really want to appropriate that. And so this is sort of like yogic, and they kind of use this, say like yogic polarity practices or relational practices in these polarities, in sort of like the neo world, contemporary way. But so in understanding that, you can really start to see people more clearly. And so by giving them, so for example, if somebody comes into me, man or woman or trans or non-binary, whatever, they come in and they are a people pleaser, right? And they want to surrender. And like, that's what they want. They just want to finally be able to be in their full omega. They just want to finally just be able to, like, because there are so many parts of themselves that says like, I'm a man, I'm not supposed to want to do this in real life. And so they sort of like block themselves, and they don't allow their full expression. And so to be able to fully just goop feel without any alpha at all is such a powerful healing experience. But then while supporting them in that true expression of self, to support their life, we also may need to do work around strengthening their alpha and supporting them. Okay, what does it feel like for you to explore getting pleasure out of control? Which is that's what Dom is. There are many different flavors of dominance, but like the one that's across the board is pleasure in control. So what would it like for you to feel pleasure in having control of your life? And so supporting them and stepping into a Dom role, and me as the surrendered one can build up that sort of alpha muscle that can support, so that now that support the rest of their life. So now In fact, just a little plug, I'm actually about to launch a on-demand course called Meet Your Inner Dom. And it's about the psychological process of stepping into a space of finding pleasure and control. And this can improve your romantic partnerships to create that polarity. And it can also support like in work and in relationships and all of these other ways of like getting you to where you want to go, because it's not inherently easy. Not everyone knows how to find that capacity for pleasure in themselves. Yeah.